Hello. This is a basic understanding of the communications practices of the company I am researching, which is Publix Supermarkets. Now, this video will outline a few basic things, 3 key points. First one being why the communication from a company to the public is important and why they should take care to not be overbearing. Second point is why communication from the company to its departments is important and why the communication needs to be thorough. And the third point is why being able to use different styles and methods of communication is key to becoming an effective company in both means of customer service and of employee efficiency. So starting with the first point, why is communication from a company to the public important and why they shouldn't be overbearing? No one wants to go shopping at a company that is constantly soliciting or demanding you to buy certain products or asking you these things as you're trying to do your shopping. Or if you're shopping from them. It's just not exactly what people want. Does Coca-Cola constantly badger you with informations like, oh, please buy our product, we're better than Pepsi, you should buy our product. And every time you go into a store that hosts Coca-Cola brand products, do you hear one of their reps going, hey, you should buy this, this is really good, and goes on and essentially halts what you're doing. No one wants that. What a company needs to make sure to do is to ensure that they are delivering a clear and effective message to the public, using certain points as bullets, short sentences, strong verbs, saying instead of we should, we do, or we have. Something that instigates the fact that they have a sense of power, that they are doing what they're saying they're doing, and not that they can't or they may. Such talk like that is extremely vague and ambiguous, and it could state that the customer has to help them do it, or they won't do it at all, or vice versa. Either way, that is something a company should always avoid. And in order to continue presenting their public image, they must make sure that their message to the public is clear and efficient. Let's take an example, for example. Publix. They're known throughout communities for being involved in communities, charities, creating jobs, and things of that such nature. If on their website they were to be using vague terms or irrelevant pictures, images, facts, or statistics, or even analogies, how would that convey their message that shopping there is a pleasure? In this case, is shopping there a pleasure, but working might not be? Which leads us to our second point, as to why communication intercompany is just as important as to outside the company. No one immediately instinctively knows that when they come to work that they have certain tasks they have to do. Communication in the company is what creates that ability. You would not expect a military unit to simply arrive in a country and know strategically where to hit, how to hit, and what they need to do to get there. No, it comes from a general who tells a captain, who tells a lieutenant, who tells the troop leader, and the troop leader discerns the information out to the remaining troops so they know what they're doing. Without this, who's to say who's in charge? This communication inside the company, not only does it make sure that the company is having an effective means of providing their customer and their consumers the quality service that they're known for, but it also helps create and maintain an establishment hierarchy of control and communication. Continuing on, another example would be the pyramids, Giza. Would you have thought that without the pharaohs guiding the slave drivers, guiding the indentured, well, the slaves, to build the pyramid, to move the blocks in certain places, that the pyramids would be what they are today? No. Quite honestly, if no one told anybody what they needed to do, we'd have a bunch of walls everywhere in Egypt. Not very effective, is it? But with the proper communication, might all be a little bit morally ineffective. They built the pyramids. Once again, this brings us to our third key point, which is also the epitome of this video presentation. Why being able to use different styles and methods of communication is important to the information lifeline. A company can send out 1,000,000 memos to its employees, send out as many emails as they could possibly send without destroying their servers, spam their employees with notices on their desks. But how is that going to make them effectively sell what they're trying to sell or do their job effectively? A company needs to be able to utilize all forms and facets of information, and this does include multimedia such as videos, interactive websites, interactive games, or honestly just a standard good old PowerPoint. By utilizing all of these facets, they can effectively deliver all the information they need to deliver in a clean and clear, concise manner. Not like this video, I understand I stutter. So in doing so, they'll effectively be able to deliver all the information they need. An example is Publix. Once again, the company I'm doing my research project on. Publix uses a monthly computer interactive service that allows their employees to train in certain food safety and customer service interaction scenarios. In doing this, it becomes much more effective for Publix to be able to prevent employee injuries, customer complaints, supplier complaints, and to be able to follow the full health code that's set in place by the state. An employer can simply go and tell the deli manager to instruct the employees on proper food handling techniques, how to wash their hands, proper uniform etiquette, and everything else, and send out memo after memo after memo. But all these are words on a page, and while they may use bullet points or the 5-paragraph method in order to try to convey the message as clearly as possible, they could still work on it. A human being learns in many different ways. While some people may be able to listen and understand what's going on, and another person may be able to read it and understand what's happening, some people require hands-on training, or they require both visual and interactive training. And this is where these multifacet comes in. It's a lot easier for a student to sit at his computer and watch a YouTube presentation of a lecture than to possibly read about it from a PDF printout, or to hear about it from a friend, or instead of participating in the class itself. In doing so, you're expanding the ability of people to be able to understand and absorb your message, which is the key point in communication, is to be able to convey your message as clearly and concisely as possible to as many people as possible. Throughout the course of this video, I have mentioned quite a few things, and while it has been pretty fast, and I do apologize for that, we have to understand that this is under time constraints. So, which brings us to the last point, a clean and concise conclusion. This is why a company needs to be able to communicate both to the public and to itself. Like I said before, by conveying to the public a clear and concise message using multimedia facets, they can ensure that their message is clean and consistent across all forms of media. Whether it is a TV commercial, a radio commercial, a leaflet, a YouTube video, or interactive games sent out through the mail to the public, they can ensure that the public understands that their message is the same throughout everything, that they are here to do one thing and one thing only, and they are doing that thing. As well as ensuring that your employees are happy, they are effective in their job, and most importantly of all, that they want to be there. A person may be happy when they receive a paycheck, but a person who wants to be there is an even greater valuable asset than 5 people who are just there for the money. And as long as you're communicating effectively inside your company, there should be no reason why you shouldn't be able to convey all of these things and make sure that your company is as most effective as it can be. It's similar to a relationship. Will it work without communication? Of course not. And this applies to every facet of life. Nothing can work without the proper communication, and that's why it's important.